Hello, collective. This is Justine from Gregor Girl Tarot. I'm so glad that you found me if you did. I think it's so important that we support each other in this collective, beings of love and light. And if you found this, especially if you found it spontaneously, which would be like a miracle, if you found this, you are a being of love and light. And I am so happy that you found me. I think we're all navigating some crazy energy, and that's why I really wanted to pour back into the collective because this community here on YouTube, I have taken so much from this community in terms of inspiration and support and information. I've gotten a huge education on YouTube, actually. And I fact checked it, so I know that it wasn't AI, so I think I'm safe. Anyway, so I wanted to do a reading, and I was doing my not a pre-shuffle, but I kind of just place the cards to see what the energy is. And I wanted to show this. So I'm doing it a little bit differently because I think it's so accurate. I mean, based on what I'm seeing, I think that we are navigating a really energy charged time, and that energy sometimes feels reckless or overwhelming. So I'm just going to give you my take on it as I see it from my guides. Right? Because my messages come in through words or images and feelings, and then through my human vessel and my consciousness here in this dimension, I try to relay the message as best I can. But it's up for interpretation, and it may not be a message that resonates with you, and that is fine. But what I'm seeing here in this position here is where I start, right? Is the moon in reverse. Yeah, like all of this stuff that was hidden beneath the surface. I mean, this is like on a granular level. This is all the fractals. This is the entire collective. And then on an individual level, it's all coming to the surface. And it's been building for a long time. And what I'm noticing the most about this is that the sun is on the bottom. Obviously, it's upside down. And then there's this black murkiness here. And this really reminds me of a download I got the other day. I actually posted the image, and I'm going to show it later in this video. But it was like sludge, you know, like dirty oil or something. Just something, you know, that is sort of blanketing or covering the experience in general, making it extremely challenging to focus on the light. But it's there. It's very much there. But it's very important that all of this sludge gets worked through the system, cleaned through the system, so that we can start anew. You can call it the new earth. You can call it a new way. It's really just living in the truth as we know it now, having the truth. The thing that is contributing to this feeling here is that it's just very difficult to process the amount of information that is coming into the collective, especially because there are traps and tricks and all sorts of other things. Like what I just said was very telling, because sometimes I speak and I notice after the fact that, you know, it was a riddle or like some kind of weird proverb or what is it, prophecy? I don't know. I say things, and then after the fact I go, oh geez, I wonder, you know, if that meant this or if this was taken that way. And I don't analyze myself that way, or I would be crazy. but what was my point? Yes, it's hard. It's hard because you have to go about your everyday life. You can't just like stop and process all this information and sit with it and discuss it and, you know, go to different sources. It's kind of just being dumped on us, and we still have to go to work or take care of our kids or take care of ourselves, or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, you're adding. That's by design. That is by design, because it's not supposed to be easy. It's really a test. or an opportunity to, I heard pick a side, but it's not about division. It's about unity. Meaning, are you about unity and love and light and expanding, or something more like this, right? So this is where we're going. This is what's contributing to this feeling because it's new. And I'm really drawn to this plane here, which is at JFK Airport, because I think that's what's so, this feeling here. All right, and just bear with me because I haven't planned these words. I'm just trying to be as transparent and authentic as I can. So I'm sacrificing not sounding articulate here, but this plane is carrying lots of people, and everybody who's in the plane is well, hopefully, and in this depiction, is on the same page. They all want the same thing. They want to land in a destination safely. So it doesn't really matter who the pilot is, who the stewardess is, or who the passengers are. They have one unified goal, regardless of their position or what they're supposed to be doing. And the goal is to land in another destination safely. And so that can be a little nerve-wracking. Not if you're talking, I mean, this is obviously like a, metaphor, analogy, because we're so used to flying now, right? So it's not everybody gets scared in a plane. They kind of just assume, everything's going to be fine. But this is a new journey that we're going on. And as you can see, the animals are in agreement. This bird's flying right next to the plane, and animals know what's up. Now, what spirit wants from us, whoever that is, whoever your higher power is, whether it's your ancestors, whatever it is that you believe in, is really not the focus here. It's just that you understand that you're part of something much, much bigger than yourself. And that however isolated or different or disenfranchised or whatever you feel, that is an illusion. You are just as important as the pilot if you're a passenger. We are all connected, part of the collective. And it reminds me of a download I got last year when I started this channel. And Spirit was showing me the human body and how it is a representation of the world, the universe, and so on and so forth, and how every organ in the human body is important. It has a function. And I think I used the pancreas as an example because mine was crushed when I was younger, and I had to come back from that, and it was very scary, right? Because most of my other organs were okay. I mean, not really, but that one was really in bad shape. And that one, that could really seal the deal for you, right? And so what Spirit was showing me through my own experience is that you cannot just focus on one portion of the collective and expect to get anything bountiful or abundant out of it, because it goes against universal law. You must consider the entire organism. You have to take care of your liver, your pancreas, your stomach, your weight, your blood pressure, your heart, all of it. If anything gets too out of balance, it causes dis-ease. So what Spirit wants from us is to shout that from the rooftops. If you are of love and light, if you are not okay with the murkiness, with the overload of nonsensical information meant to confuse you, disorient you from the things that are important while you're still trying to pay the bills in an economy that is more challenging by the day, with the news that is downright traumatizing for people, right? And raise the collective at the same time. That is what is necessary right now. So I don't necessarily mean that you have to get on YouTube and shout it, or go protest peacefully or do anything like that. Wherever it is that you are, however it is that you can contribute in your own way, is all it will take, is if everybody does that. Whatever that is. whether you work in a bodega or you are in the government or otherwise, whatever it is, as long as you understand that there is a huge transition happening right now and that it is very important, your energy is very important right now. It is very precious that you put it towards the right things. In the subconscious of the collective is this Page of Wands card. There is an excitement about this, and there's also nerves because it's new. It's a new start. It's like something we've never considered before because we didn't see all of this coming. But what I'm really drawn to the most is the red, the amount of red in this card, which correlates to the root chakra and what we're feeling and what this is. I mean, this is the dark forces, really. I mean, this is about stopping evolution, stopping ascension, stopping growth and expansion by putting you in the root, making you afraid about how are you going to pay your electric bill and get food for your kids, never mind raising the collective, right? And that is the work of the devil. That's it. That's the devil right there. Not this Page of Wands, but the red and what it represents. But this Page of Cups is really what our strength is right here. This is our strength. Look at that. The sprinkles really represent it. Every single one of us on this planet has a different purpose, and we are entirely different. We've had a different experience, but we're all connected. And so we all must contribute in our own way and not become apathetic and not give up and not become confused by the clouds. The sun is there. That is where we're going. What's hidden is the Wheel of Fortune. What's hidden is that the wheel is turning. The higher power is watching. There are karmic events playing out. There are consequences and rewards playing out. It's turning whether we like it or not. So it's very important that you take a position. And don't just leave it up to chance. Because the lesson from this, what Spirit wants us to really focus on, this is the ending card here, is the Star. This is about you being a creator in your own life. This is about you connecting with your heart, with others, and with God, however you see that God, whether you see it as the powers of nature or a specific God. There is a force, a magical force beyond us that is also in us, and we must connect back to it and create again out of this sludgy stuff that's trying to overwhelm us. That's really the message. On the back of the deck is the Justice card. This is what's happening. This is about spiritual justice. This is about balancing the forces within the collective and the universe and our globe. And it's very, very important that you choose where your thoughts go, where your energy flows, the actions that you take, and not being in the roots in fear. That is a trick. It's also a very practical matter and one that I understand well. But this is the time to really understand what's going on here and not feel powerless, and understand that you are not powerless, and that if you plug in and connect collectively, we're going to come out on the other side of this much, much better and thriving, not just surviving. Oh, the Hierophant in reverse right underneath that. There are systems that are broken. And it's not about pointing fingers. It really doesn't help anything to do that. It just matters how we change it and what we do from now on. So forces, entities, people who don't want to evolve, do not want to ascend, I can't really say for sure what's going to happen to them. It really doesn't matter to me. What matters is that more people consider the entire organism or the entire world or the entire collective and do the work that's necessary to rebuild justice. I'll be right back with that image in one sec. Okay, so I'm back. Again, not preparing at all, just really diving in here because this download, I don't entirely understand. I just put it down as it is. And then after the fact, I kind of look at it a little bit. But again, I don't analyze it too much because then I get more into my mind, which is not helpful because you're using your third eye and your crown to do these things. But I think it's important to share it because it's not just my information, it's our information because we're all connected. And that's why everyone's voice is so important. Even if you're not using your voice, it's your energy, your essence is important, is the point. But, when I was looking at this moon in reverse, it reminded me of this image here. And, these are the two timelines that we're kind of in between right now. In between, or, it feels more upside down than anything. But this is the moon in reverse here. This is what's happening. It's energy is being pumped out. It's being pumped out from underground, whatever that means to you, unseen, or the motivation is unseen. What's necessary? Is it for the collective? We don't know. We can't see it, right? But this information is being propelled out. And it takes a lot of energy to get it to move upwards because it goes against gravity, or you could say it goes against universal law, or what's best, or it's upside down, whatever you want to say. In order to get that information up, it has to be, I don't know, clickbaity or completely untrue or whatever it is. It comes at us, and the way it comes at us, and again, I don't totally understand all this. It's almost impossible. It makes it difficult for the collective to process the information because the way it comes in is like this, right? If you see the point of this triangle here, it's like too much, right? Like, how is that going to get through if this is like a filter of the collective? It becomes overwhelmed. It becomes the reverse of creation, right? It becomes murky, like this moon in reverse. Whereas what needs to be, or what we're moving towards, is becoming aligned, connected to source, connected. Do you see that? Connected to source. And as the information goes through the collective, as you can see here, this intuitive plateau here, the information comes in it's like we know where it's coming from, was the message. It's coming from the stars, from God, from a light source. And it is easier for the collective to process it because it's a clean filter, and it allows us to expand as a collective, not just for a certain portion of the collective to expand. And I think that's how it's been. And this is what we're finding out, or maybe everybody else knew that already, but this is what I'm finding out in my own way. And this isn't like an event that's going to happen like one day. It's like, boom, it's more this spiritual battle that's happening is in the unseen. It's not about what you necessarily write down or do in your everyday life. It's literally about your vibration, your energy, and where you're putting it. Because collectively, whether you see it or not. So anyway, I'm back. I ran out of storage, and I don't think that's a mistake. I really don't. And I'm not being grandiose, because when I look at this video later, there'll very likely be 1 or 2 views on it. So really, who am I, right? But I think that energetically, yeah, I have a lot of power. And there's forces out there that don't want people that have a lot of power in terms of energy, of love and light, to speak or to be seen or to do anything. So if you're feeling that, resistance, keep going, because it's very important. We need your energy on the right side of things. I'm sorry if I'm shouting at people, but just trying to get the words out without analyzing them too much. And, and again, like, we're all working against this, hostile takeover energetically type vibe that we're experiencing. So, all right, I just want to pull a couple of clarifiers. I've already shuffled this deck. I just want to see if we can expand a little bit on this. Wait, let me just move this. Okay. Spirit source, tell us a little bit more about this moon in reverse. You could always hold the screen down, I think, to fast forward through this. There are going to be alliances that are going to be broken in this process. I think that there are a lot of people, beings on this globe, that feel that they are perhaps no longer aligned with certain groups, affiliations, or I think a lot of people feel duped, especially in the U.S. where I live. There's a lot of people who thought one thing was going to happen without getting into detail, and then like something totally different happened, like bait and switch. And I think that it's very important that you really root in spiritually and understand what you believe in at this time, even if it means that you have to walk your own path or find new people to align with. Because I think that that's what this is about, breaking cycles that are working against evolution, elevation of the collective, ascension. And so, yeah, that's a part of it. And in addition to that, it may also be that you find that you form very strong alliances, friendships, connections with people, because before you didn't think you had anything in common with them. But you realize that you look different, even speak a different language, believe in different, you might have different religions, whatever it is, economic status, but you have a shared vision of wanting this planet to be healthy, and to have future generations be able to enjoy the same things that you enjoyed when you were a kid, or that you want people in general to be safe, or you believe in justice, for example, things like that. Those are things that will unite people as well. So it could really work both ways. Let's just look a little bit into the Wheel of Fortune and see if we could just get a message on that. 2 came out. Yeah. People are charged up. So it's really important, like, what they're charged into, what they're plugged into, because people are charged up. And the scales are being balanced. That's what's coming. And that's what we've been saying. And that's what we're seeing. There's no easy way to do this. So it's so important that you're aligned with what you really truly believe in, and not kind of falling into that root of fear, even though there's legitimate cause for it. Or that's what we're seeing anyway. But this spiritual battle is happening in the unseen. And let's not forget that with all the stuff that we're being flooded with. Let's just get another card on the Page of Cups, which is the action that Spirit is saying is best for us to do, which is to embrace the things that keep us together, the things that we all share, the things that we all want, regardless of where you live geographically or who you worship. or what your personal goals are, the people who share certain morals and goals for the future. Ooh, another 2 cards came out. Knight of Cups and the Empress. Well, this is a core card. This is a major arcana. But the way I'm seeing it here, it's really like the divine feminine and the divine masculine. I don't really use that term a lot, but you know, gender is definitely fluid, and there are some people that definitely don't identify with either, or a little bit of both, or you know, and that's really not the point here. The point here is to integrate and to work together. And I see this as the two are. This is about holding space for your emotions and other people's emotions, and it's about safety so that you can create. It's about not being in the root, not living from fear and thinking you can't share with others, or you have to hoard, or you know, build a bunker and fill it with like canned goods and buy up all the land, and you know, whatever people are trying to do, that's not what they're supposed to be doing. This is about knowing that there's enough for everyone. Certainly there's enough universal love. Holding space for that, as difficult as that may be, so that we can create again, be out of survival mode and into creating, or the creatrix. I just heard creatrix. But also these cards are in black and white, and in this deck there's colored cards and black. I don't know if it's black and white or monotone or what you call that. But it's because we're not seeing the light yet. You have to know it's there, believe in it, plug into it. It's about faith. It's about working on something that has not come into fruition. This is about being in the mindset to manifest a new reality. That's what I'm getting from this. And I just want to pull one more for the Fool, which is, hold on, that's not, let me pull one more for the Fool, where we're going collectively on that plane, where we all have a shared goal. But there's a sense of not having complete control, which can be, you know, uncomfortable. Trust, having trust. The Kindred. You know, I don't actually know what this card means because I didn't read it in the book, so I'm just going to interpret it as I'm into. Give me 1 minute. This is about me using my intuition, so let's see what I find here. Oh my gosh, this is just making me think of the Empress. It's like I'm seeing this as God. You know, it's because I believe in God, but again, you don't have to. The universe, the planets, but saying, your wish is my command. Just dream it. If you can dream it, we can achieve it. And that might be a quote, I'm not sure. But you can see that, you know, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz here, she's happy. And she's holding her little Toto dog. You could see the yellow brick road. You could see all the symbolism of the poppies and the heavens. And it's about coming out on the other side of this. And it's like a reset. It's a refocus on uniqueness, on creation, on organic creation, humans creating things, thoughts, ideas, writing, art. What, or other jobs that may not seem creative, but they're so very creative, like working in the law. Anything really that you do can be created, if you're out of survival mode, that is. And that's, Sean, please. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's what this is about. So anyway, I love you guys. I'm sending you love and light. And I hope that this finds the right people, and that it validates something that you're already feeling, and that it inspires you in some way. and I will be back again soon. Bye.